welcome back to the show, baby. And we just out here doing our thing. I don't know. That was Channel 2 there. Is everybody with me? Is everybody with me? And boy, oh boy, do we got a show today. My mousy poo is not working. Ain't that something? We got to charge that up, baby. Well, we are going to talk about Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley out here. We love Charles Barkley. Chuck, baby. Come on, Chuck. I guess I know what Chuck's doing. Chuck's getting a bag. I do the same thing. If you're going to give me a big bag, and Chuck loves the bag because he loves to gamble. So Chuck's got a lot. He got a lot of stuff he got to pay for. You know what I'm saying? So Charles Barkley's out here talking about Trump is stirring up Nazi ties, racism, and all this. This is all they got. They still trying to take Trump off the ballot. He's going to end up off a lot of ballots. And the Republicans got no backbone because the Republicans are soft. They're part of it, the uniparty. There's only a few out there that are really fighting for Americans, true Americans, patriots, baby. That's us, right? Huh? That's us. That's why you're going to make sure you like and subscribe, baby. You're going to make sure you like and subscribe because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Everybody knows what I'm saying. That's why you tuned in. That's why you like the Rock and Roll Rebels show. I'm your man, Thunder Dan. So let's get into what Chuck's got to say, man. And then we're going to run on over to Rudy Giuliani's lawsuit. He's got some with Miss Freeman. There's videotape of her. There's also the one and only Jeffrey Epstein's client list is coming out. We're going to keep on top of that, baby. We want to know whose blackmail is probably very huge. Sexual blackmail is probably very huge for these Congress people of power. You've seen it already. Multiple congressmen have been busted. A lot of government officials have been busted with drugs, alcohol. They just wild. I mean, I get it. They're everyday people too, but I feel like if you're going to take some type of power like that and vote on to help Americans out and not help out Americans, you're a sociopath. You're some type of crazy, baby. You're some type of crazy. And we don't like none of that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to watch out. We in the jungle, baby. Protect yourself at all times. So let's jump into this. Let's jump into old Charles Barkley, baby. I love Charles Barkley. He's funny. And I just want to play some random stuff Chuck has said over the years. But more recently, because I guess he's on some show with CNN with Oprah's friend Gayle King. I believe they're together on some type of show, but I mean, nobody's watching it because nobody watches CNN. Everybody knows. I think people are waking up. Even talking about Trump's going to have a rally in the South Bronx, baby. South Bronx. Give it up, baby. Is Brooklyn in the house? But let's play Charles Barkley here. Talking all types of stuff. But, you know, we got to stay involved. We got to make sure we get out and vote. And we got to pay attention. Like and sub up, baby. We're going to break some news. Let's do this. Let's pull this up. There's old Chucky Chuck.
I'm not a big Trump fan. I'm just not. Because like I say, it's the president of the United States. It ain't for no small little group of nutty people. It's everybody. I don't care if, you know, me and you're independent. Mm-hmm. And I don't have anything against Republicans. I don't have anything against Democrats.
His supporters would object to you calling them nutty people, though.
Well, I only call them that because they are. They're crazy. They're like your drunk friend. Like, once your friend's drunk, there's nothing you can say to him. Like, can you imagine? Let me ask you this, because you ever seen the movie A Time to Kill?
Yes, I have, actually.
And when the guy says, yes. Can you imagine if President Obama was acting like this dude been acting? But they'd be like, this dude cannot be president. Yeah. He's not even presidential. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're supposed, like, even George Bush Jr., excuse me, even though I might not agree with his policy, but he acted like a president. Like, you're supposed to be like superior.
I know, but
you're the leader of the most important place in the world.
Chuck is really MAGA, 100%. He's going to say all this because he wants the bag, baby. He wants the bag. I don't blame him. Hey, you're going to pay me $10 million a year. I could say some bad things about Donald Trump, but then when I get in that voting booth, I'm voting for Trump. So, like I said earlier, Chuck's got some things. He's silly. We still love Charles Barkley, baby. And I get it. Chuck's being Chuck. But here's the other thing that's getting people all riled up why he's made the news today. This was the other day. Let's play this.
But for a man who's running for the most powerful position in the world to use pseudo-racist rhetoric, that's one of the reasons I can't vote for that guy. Because, man, he just rubs me the wrong way. And people can vote for whoever they want to, but I just do not like it at all.
Yeah, but he still has.
But for a man who's running for the most powerful position in the world,
see, so that's
to
Chuck.
use pseudo
He's talking his nonsense
rhetoric.
out there. And he's going to talk it. But at the end of the day, that's Charles Barkley. And then they're just trying to make it all crazy with trying to take Trump off the ballot. He might end up off in Massachusetts, Texas, Virginia, California. It's going to be a lot of places, South Carolina, because a lot of attorney generals are Democrats. And the thing in Colorado was they just said he was insurrectionist, and bam, they just took him right off. Right away, took him right off. And also, don't forget that this was Trump's speech on January 6th. I don't even know if this is going to go up because Twitter 1.0 took this off right away. And if you remember, Trump spoke at the rally, said he was going to go down, be peaceful, and all that. And then things got out of control because we don't really know what's going on with January 6th. The pipe bombers out there, they have not released all the footage of the pipe bomber. I know it's just that one sitting on the bench, and there's edits in there. So what's really going on with that? No pipe bomber, zero. Nothing on that. Nobody talks about that. That's the whole thing's up with this Mockingbird media, man. They're just going to give us what they want to give us, and we need whistleblowers coming out, and we need independent people coming out. That's why you got to support this show. You got to like and sub up, support this show. We're trying to get a new bookcase back here, you know what I'm saying? So we can get real nice. Put some trinkets on there, huh? Come on. But here's Trump's speech, and let's play this because this was on January 6th of 2020, right? I mean, that's years ago. And remember, they took it off. Twitter took it off 5 minutes later because it was telling Trump everybody got to go home. They wanted chaos.
I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
Yeah, 100% right there. 100%. I'm not sure what's going to happen with YouTube. Last time I did something with Trump, they deleted the whole episode. They just took the episode. Because normally if YouTube don't like what you do, they'll leave it on your channel and it's just locked down so just you can view it, stuff like that. The one I did with Trump, they just wiped it, took it off the servers, took it off. I don't know where it is. They say some things last forever on the internet, but that didn't last forever. And also MySpace. Where's my MySpace pictures? Those don't last forever either. You know what I'm saying? Those are all gone. But that's just me rambling on, baby, rambling on. The people at home, MySpace, what's that? Yeah, it was social media back in the day, kids. Social media back in the day. But let's get out on this. Let's get on this Rudy Giuliani thing. This is shady because Miss Freeman was a poll worker, and she sued Rudy Giuliani for defamation and stuff like that because she's saying that people are harassing her. And Giuliani came out, gave a press conference saying her and I believe it's her stepdaughter or daughter and another worker were caught on video, which looks like they were doing stuffs to the ballots, rerunning ballots and all that. But and he got sued, lost, and now he owes $148 million. I don't know what happened to this country, but if you're a Trumper, man, if you're a Trumper, part of Trump's team, they're taking you out. This is just an example. They don't want you speaking out about the election, and they're making people pay, just like they did with Dominion, did to Fox and Tucker. They're making them pay, even though Tucker wasn't part of the lawsuit. They had to get rid of the number one. There's probably more in it on Tucker, but Tucker, for some reason, doesn't want to talk too much about it. But let's play this right here. This is going to sum up the Rudy Giuliani stuff, and then I can get into this other video where they're sort of messing with the ballots. It looks shady. I mean, it looks shady, but you know, at the end of the day, nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. We're just out here like, what? It's like Epstein. You know, Epstein didn't kill himself in jail, right? Or did he? Huh? Wake up. Wake up. It's time to die, people.
We have breaking news now from New York, where NBC News has just confirmed that Rudy Giuliani, we were just speaking about this with Paul Butler, has now filed for bankruptcy just a week after the court ruled he is liable for defaming two former Georgia election workers, of course, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. And he's been ordered to pay $146 million. NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delaney joining us now with more. So, Ken, we were just talking about how Beryl Howell, the judge, had ordered him to pay up, to start paying this money out within the 30-day normal period to get the money together because of their concerns, the women's concerns. And the judge agreed that he might start moving his money. Now he's declared bankruptcy.
Yes, he has. And we've just gotten the filing right here. I haven't had a chance to read through it all, but I did notice that he listed $1 million that he says he owes the IRS, and then another $150 million in other debt, which we presumably most of which reflects this judgment. So, look, we knew that they were never going to get all of that money, right? But what this does is it starts a process where the creditors have to line up now and try to get what they can. Mr. Giuliani's got an apartment that's up for sale in New York for $6 million, so there's maybe some money there.
That's not liquid. That's
right. But here's what's interesting is that a judgment like this that resulted from willful and malicious conduct is not dischargeable in bankruptcy. So it doesn't go away. He still owes the money. Now, whether he can actually pay it, it remains to be seen, but it will stay with him for the rest of his life. He can still appeal this, but the judge made it pretty clear in order to appeal, he has to post a bond equivalent to the amount of the judgment, which obviously he can't.
And he made it worse by, during the trial, coming out, it was on a Monday, I think, so a week ago, Monday perhaps, coming out and again saying that they had been guilty of election fraud.
Which
falsely
was defamatory, and the judge said as much, and that has resulted in a separate lawsuit filed by those same women to try to enjoin him from ever saying these things again, Adrian.
They dirty, baby. They're doing Giuliani dirty, baby. I've never seen anybody get just hosed like that. Because normally if you give something for bankruptcy, they give you, I don't know, 90 days to get your finances in order. Literally, he just had the verdict come down, and then the judge said in 2 days we need that money. I don't know. It's just so weird. And there's video evidence of this out here. I didn't follow the case that much. I don't know if the cameras are in there or anything, but I don't know what evidence he put forward. But I'm about to show you something that I'm not 100% sure is safe I guess I'll just describe it. I mean, I think you can talk about election fraud on YouTube now, so I think we're good. But this looks like blatant election fraud to me. But But what do I know? You know what I'm saying? What do I know? And it's not that big. It's a smaller version. Maybe we can blow this up. It's 1 minute and 44 seconds. So we can watch this together and see what it does. Let's see if we can't get this bigger. Yeah. Oh, I'm still with you. All right, we're going to hit play. This is about as best as we can do. I don't even know if it's going to be clear. You know what I'm saying? But let's see what happens here. We're going to hit play.
After pulling out hidden boxes stuffed with ballots, footage analyzed by Gateway Pundit reveals Freeman apparently scanning the same stack of ballots over and over again. Surveillance cameras show these poll workers watched and waited until the GOP observers and reporters had left the room before they resumed scanning their ballots. These 4 workers then continued counting uninterrupted for over 3 hours until sometime after 1 in the morning. During this time, Ruby Freeman, as seen here in this video, repeatedly scanned the same batch of ballots at least 3 times, which is highly illegal, and it's all captured on tape. Freeman was working with her daughter, Wandrea Moss, who was also her election supervisor, and was also caught on camera as one of the 4 workers who remained behind after election monitors were forced to leave the building. Georgia's officials have made serious efforts to dismiss the evidence presented on these videos, but so far there has been no explanation as to why Ruby Freeman scanned the same ballots multiple times, nor why they remained behind while the rest of the building was evacuated. Lawyers said it's highly unusual for anyone to store briefcases full of ballots under tablecloths, and it's not clear when those briefcases were delivered or why Ruby Freeman and her daughter waited until GOP observers left before they got them out. Based on the number of ballots observed in the briefcases and the number of times Ruby Freeman scanned the same set of ballots, experts say they could easily account for the sudden and mysterious spike in votes for Joe Biden. Pearson Sharp, One America News.
So that's that right there. That's 100% that. I mean, it's right there, right? It's right there, and I'm not sure what's going to come from it. I don't know if that was brought up in the trial. I believe she also changed her story at one point in time. So, I mean, it's just a lot of shadiness, and I just don't know what's really going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So Giuliani's going to appeal, but the judge it's not a good judge for him. You know what I'm saying? If he was somewhere else, they might actually look at it and I guess maybe pretend that election interference didn't happen, but that's the big lie. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call it January 6th. They don't call it Stop the Steal rally. Trump keeps talking about how the election was rigged. So what are you going to do, people? What are you going to do? We got to get out. We got to vote. And it's going to be massive. This is just getting started. This is just getting started, people. It's going to be wild. I mean, they're taking Trump off the ballot. Joe Biden has just got busted with, I believe, like 54 emails as vice president to his son, Hunter. So, I mean, we know he's corrupt as hell. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening because the borders are being flooded. I think the borders are being flooded because they want cheap labor to build houses, to build buildings. Americans want decent wage and decent pay and health care. And these builders are just hiring this cheap labor. That's why it's coming across. They want this cheap labor. Corporate America wants cheap labor, especially the housing markets, the concrete market. Building, baby. And buildings are expensive with materials these days because inflation. And if they can keep the wages down, it's a penny on the dollar selling homes for $500,000. You know what I'm saying? It's pennies on the dollars, baby. So got to get out and vote, baby. Got to get out and vote. We got to close this border so they can hire Americans. You remember that Purdue chicken plant they had back in 2020? They raided ICE raided, and it was all illegals working at Purdue Chicken or Tyson's Chicken. I don't know which one it was, but one of the chicken factories, huge plant, thousands of thousands just illegals working there. You know, paying them $2 an hour, baby, paying them $2 an hour. American workers who want $20 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they want these illegals coming in here, because it's just cheap labor for them, and that's probably the facts of it. And they can vote in local elections. They can change lines and all that. Then it gets into the federal, and it helps out the Democrats. So it's power and labor, baby, power and labor. But let's also get into. So that's the Rudy Giuliani thing, man. That's Rudy Giuliani. We're going to have to pray for Rudy. I don't know how. Maybe he can write a book, get him some money. I'm sure he's all right. He was America's mayor for 9/11. He helped out a lot of people get through that tragic time when I don't even want to get into it. You can go watch my 9/11 show. I got a 9/11 show. It'll show you all the conspiracies about 9/11. 9/11 is not what you think it is, and never was. So, but let's get into this right here, where Trump's thinking about doing a rally, because I think the polls are close in New York because people are waking up. And of all places, the South Bronx, baby, it's just supposed to be wild. Let's play this real quick, because this is just 100% fascinating. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and it's just hilarious. Is this the right video?
Part of President Trump's re-election
Yes.
strategy is cutting into traditional Democrat strongholds. Shortly after Newsmax found surprising support for the former president in the Bronx, we found out that he was considering doing a rally here. We joined the New York City Young Republican president, Gavin Wax, to find out more.
Listen, Kara, Make America Great Again, it includes the South Bronx, believe it or not. It's for all Americans. I think this is why it's great that President Trump wants to visit the South Bronx for some sort of rally. It shows that he cares. President Trump and I had been speaking recently about, his prospects in New York City. There was a poll that came out that showed him within the single digits. So we talked a bit about that. I mentioned, the interviews you did on the street in the South Bronx, where there was a lot of support for President Trump. People were very excited about him. It was something that people hadn't really seen before. It was something new. It was something novel.
Free my son Trump! Free my son Trump!
He went and watched it after our gala. He shared an article commenting on your interviews, and I think it got him very excited. He kind of said, well, let's do a rally in the South Bronx. I said, sure, let's do it.
If President Trump came here to the South Bronx, would you attend the rally?
Of course, I would want to meet Trump. I want to shake his hand. He's the only president that I see that can ever make America great again. He's capable of doing that.
I would love to go to a rally with Donald Trump come, because I'm a big Donald Trump supporter, and I will support him 100%.
Oh, yeah, definitely we're going to show him love. We're going to show him a lot of love, and, like they do in other states. We definitely need to see Trump here.
There's nothing but love for Donald Trump here in the South Bronx, the North Bronx, the East Bronx, and the West Bronx.
So, you tell me...
We want Trump to come back. Please, bro. Biden, get out of here, bro. I would come to the rally and support Trump, because the Bronx need a change, and we need somebody that's really going to help this community.
I would definitely come to a Trump rally in the South Bronx. I like him.
You do?
Yes.
Yes, I will come to a rally if President Trump was to come to the Bronx, and I also would bring other people to come too and support him.
Would Joe Biden get a warm reception if he came to the Bronx?
No, he wouldn't have, and I'll make sure of that.
Reporting for Newsmax in the South Bronx, New York, I'm Kara Castronova.
Yeah, baby. Trump in the South Bronx, baby. Trump in the South Bronx. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, they're out there, baby. Nobody watches CNN, the media. That's what I don't understand. They think maybe 20, 30% are part of this craziness, but the rest of us aren't. And we're not going to have it. We got to stand up. We got to get out, baby. We got to get out. Vote. Vote, vote, vote. Call your local representatives. Call your district federal representatives. It's the only way we're going to get out this mess, baby. It's the only way we're going to get out this mess. Look how they did Jeffrey Epstein. They covered for Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a part of them. He was a part of the military. He was a part of a spy program, a blackmail program. He was a part of it all. And they let him escape, and they murdered him in jail because he knew too much. And Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail. She's not saying nothing. So she even might be even more higher because she's in some country club jail. You don't hear nothing from her, and they want it that way. So I don't know what's going to happen with her. But Jeffrey Epstein's name of list, it's 170 of them. 13 people tried to keep the names that are going to be released off. 3 people did manage to keep their names off. I believe one of the 3 was just associated in a picture or something like that, and it wasn't that person in the picture. I don't know what any of that means. I'm not sure how that's going to help us out here to figure this out, because are they just going to name just like randos, like actors, you know what I'm saying, and then not heavy hitters? But there's presidents on there. We know Bill Clinton flew on the plane 24 times. So let's get into this. I'm going to find this video about them talking about the release coming up. And the only way that this comes out, I guess, is if they release the names. And I don't know if people are going to resign, because I guess they're going to know that their name is being popped, right? They're like, hey, you're on the list. I mean, we know there's people there. There's tons of people that are there. We know Trump's not on the list, or else that list would have been out. They would have leaked his stuff 100%, because they took out CDs and everything out of Epstein's Island. So I'm sure that was all videotapes of the blackmail, the people they had. They had them all. Bill Gates is probably going to be on the list, but we already know that, right? But let's play this. And it's just getting wild and wild out here, baby. We're going on forever here. We're going on forever. So I don't like to take up too much of your precious time, because I know everybody's busy. But let's play this one last segment for the evening, baby. For the evening. Christmas is coming, baby. Christmas, what, 3 days away? 3 days away. Santa Claus is coming to town.
We're here outside the federal courthouse here in Lower Manhattan, and this is where Judge Loretta Preska has ordered that January 1st release date of more than 170 names associated with a civil lawsuit that was settled some time ago here. But many of those names that will be released are Jeffrey Epstein's close friends, associates, and some of his victims. Now, the judge is also allowing those individuals who would like to keep their names concealed or redacted to file an appeal to make their case before the release of those names in less than 2 weeks. Now, many of those names that will come out certainly are known and notable, including former presidents, but they are all part of a now settled civil lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell brought by Virginia Giuffre. Now, Giuffre accused Maxwell of helping Epstein abuse her by arranging travel plans along with setting up meeting times and places around the world to facilitate her sexual abuse. Maxwell is now serving 20 years in a federal prison after she was convicted in 2021 for her role in a scheme to sexually exploit and abuse multiple teenage girls with Epstein over a 10-year period. Now, Epstein died by suicide in a Manhattan federal jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. The judge also noting in her order that some of the names that will be released have already been revealed because some of those individuals have spoken publicly about their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Meanwhile, at least 11 names will not be released, including 8 people who have been identified as minor victims of sexual abuse. Last night on Banfield, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Josh Schiffer talked about why some people are desperately fighting to have their names redacted.
So there's a lot of reasons someone wouldn't want their name associated with someone whose name is literally everything bad in high society and regular society, for that matter. So if you were someone of particular current, relevant importance, think someone big in finance, think someone big in politics. Jeffrey Epstein knew everyone. When you said earlier he palled around with royalty.
Now, Virginia Giuffre also has accused Britain's Prince Andrew of sexually assaulting her when she was 17 years old and being sexually trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein. Both Prince Andrew and Epstein were very known associates. Now, Prince Andrew has denied those claims. However, he did agree to pay Giuffre a multi-million-dollar settlement. Adrian.
All right. Thank you very much, Dre, for your report.
And it is 100% true, 100% true. You know, you had Prince Andrew. We know Bill Clinton's going to be on that list. Bill Gates is going to be on that list. But what's going to happen, people? Nothing. That's the whole thing. Nothing fucking happens, man. It's just a joke out there. It's a joke. And the power just keeps on going in the wrong direction. We're going in the wrong direction as America, as Americans. Just think if we didn't waste all this money on wars and overseas and nonsense. I mean, we created tons of chaos. And now we invited all the people all over the Middle East, everywhere we've been. We created chaos, and now we're letting those people in. Like I said, it's probably for cheap labor and voting stats and all that, but definitely been running on way too long, baby, way too long. Thank you for tuning in, baby. Thank you for tuning in. Kanye's gonna drop, I guess, on New Year's, baby, on New Year's. But this is the Rock and Roll Rebel Show, and I'm your man, Thunder Dan, baby. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Have a Merry Christmas. A Merry Christmas if I don't see you. Have fun with the family. And we'll be back, baby.